My name is Julia Jonas. I'm from the Highland Park Public Library in Highland Park, Illinois, and I'm going to read a passage from The Adventures of Huck Finn by Mark Twain, in which Huck must decide whether the right thing to do is to return a runaway slave to his owner or to help him escape to freedom. I felt good and all washed clean of sin for the first time I had ever felt so in my life, and I knowed I could pray now, but I didn't do it straight off, but laid the paper down and sat there thinking how good it was all this happened so, and how near I came to being lost and going to hell, and went on thinking, and got to thinking over our trip down the river, and I see Jim before me all the time, in the day and in the nighttime, sometimes moonlight, sometimes storms, and we a-floating along, talking and singing and laughing. But somehow I couldn't seem to strike no places to harden me against him, but only the other kind. I'd see him standing my watch on top of his'n instead of calling me so I could go on sleeping, and see how glad he was when I came back out of the fog, and when I come to him again in the swamp, up there where the feud was, and such like times. And would always call me honey and pet me and do everything he could think of for me, and how good he always was. And at last I struck the time I saved him by telling the men we had smallpox aboard, and how he was so grateful, and said I was the best friend old Jim ever had in the world, and the only one he'd got now. And then I happened to look around and see that paper. It was a close place. I took it up and held it in my hand. I was a-tremblin', because I'd got to decide forever betwixt two things, and I knowed it. I studied a minute, sort of holding my breath, and then said to myself, all right, then I'll go to hell, and tore it up.